Hello everyone, and welcome to day 5 of our countdown to Christmas using our fun 12 days of crafting advent calendar from Stampin Up. I know you can't really see that whole box. There we go. Ta-da! We are going to be creating 2 cards today that will be shaker cards because let's see, I'm going to actually show you 9 first. 9 is all these nice fun little cards here. They are, now I will tell you this, they are only singles, so whatever you get in the pack, it is just that one pattern. You don't get 2 of each. I will say that kind of was a little sad when I opened it, but you kind of improvise. So like today's card, we're using this, I used the blue on the sample, but then we're going to switch it up and use the pink because it's the same pattern with the stripes, but then it's just different colors. And then it also comes with these cute little die cutouts. And again, there's only 1 of each except for the little leaf. There's multiple of that, and then there's like 2 hearts. So the bows were different colors, so we swatched that up, and then of course with the flower as well. So very cute pack of stuff though, if you're not having to duplicate things. And then the other is this fun little shaker pack. So this pack has some of the cutest little things in it. I was kind of hoping I could find a little container to kind of set some things down in, but let me see if I can maybe put a couple of these things in my hand. There are these cute little bows and these cute little hearts that are in here, and then just kind of some flowers, but these were the 2 that I love. So I don't know if you can see those or not. I can't really see. Yeah, there we go. You can. It's little hearts and then little bows, and then there's some stars and some flowers and all that fun stuff. I will tell you that the bows and the hearts are a little thicker, so just know that for your shaker card, because if it gets stuck, you're going to have to beat it a little bit to get it to go back. So I would definitely suggest a little tray for those because there are little dots and things like that too. So I'm going to have to vacuum up after I put all that in. So let's get started. So we have our card base today, and we're going to fold it in half. And Maggie is in here again trying to get in my trash. She is good at that lately. I tell you what, she is in like that terrible 3 stage. I had to stop the camera to shoo her out because she kept going back. So she has definitely hit the terrible 3s. I thought they were terrible 2s, but I am pretty sure it is terrible 3s with her. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we're going to add our designer series paper, which is from the box. We're going to add it to our card front. And then we are going to our window sheet to the back of it. So we're going to grab some liquid glue, and we're just going to go around the edge just like that. Then we've got our window sheet. Sorry, gosh, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. You know, if it's not something, I'm not doing a video, right? All right, so we're going to kind of lay that aside at the moment. And then we have our little piece here. So this is going to be our backdrop. And then I wanted to show you a little trick real quick. So these were some of the embellishments that we got on one of the days. And what I want to do is add them in as shaker cards. And so we are going to take our embossing buddy, and I'm going to show you a little trick. So we're going to take our embossing buddy here, and we're just going to take, now I've done most of them. There was one that's still a little sticky though. This one. Okay. So the cupcake is still just has a little bit, because these were little stickers. It has a little bit of stick on the back of it. So all I do is I stick it right there on, and then I just kind of give it a rub, and it'll get some of the powder out of the bag. You can also tap it, and it'll get a little of that powder out, and then it's going to make that no longer a sticker. So it's not going to be sticky on the back. So now you can put it in as shaker cards, 4 shaker cards, and it will shift around with the rest of them. We'll get that flour too, because it was still a little sticky as well. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our adhesive strips. I always forget the name of these for some reason. I guess it's because I don't use them very often. And we're going to run around the edge. Gotta find my scissors. I try to clean up every time I do a video, and then I can't find because everything is back in its place. All right, and then we'll go there, and then we're gonna go up here, get a little closer. There we go. We'll grab another one. You want to make sure that you butt it up really close to the one where you stopped. And then right here. And then ta-da! All right, now I'm going to go ahead and just add another layer all the way around, just so that it keeps its form and the edges don't sink down. And then when you get to this, just like our regular dimensionals, you can cut and use all of these edges because they are dimensionals as well. So we're going to go down here. We're going to trim just a little bit of that off. All right. I'm going to throw that one away just because it is a little smaller. And then let's go with an edge here. So we're going to go here. And then we're going to go down this side. With the shakers, you really want everything to be secure when you flip it over onto your card base. Okay, so now let's stick in our little pieces here. And it's not going to matter which direction you go in, because obviously this is the same pattern all the way around, so there's not an up or a down. So I'm going to take all of my little stickers and I'm going to turn them over so that they are face down into our window sheet here. Then I'm going to take all these little pieces that I had picked up earlier. I'm going to make sure that our bows are kind of in there. All right, I might not be able to get it all up, but we're gonna try. You know, it's all gonna stick. And we're gonna probably add just a little bit more. Oh, look at there. My finger is getting those little pieces up. Perfect. So it was worth it. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more, because we all need a little bit more. I'm going to take out some of the bows though, because they are so thick, so we don't need that many of them in there. And of course they just come right on back in, don't they? They just want to be in there. There we go. All right, let's take out those two. And I think the rest of them will be just fine. Let's see if we can add just a little bit more. Okay, because you know with a shaker card, you just need it to be full. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hold these edges here Get all those little pieces off my finger. We're going to flatten out just so that, there we go. Now we're going to start taking off the backings. So I'm going to hold on to an edge or to an unsticky area. And I'm going to slowly remove these pieces because I want to make sure that I don't pop it up and all of our little fun embellishments go flying. Because that would be something I would be able to do very easily. See? My thumb got it. All right, so I've got these two little pieces there that have kind of come over, so we're just going to kind of brush it off. And if it doesn't come off, then don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world, right? All right, so I'm going to hold here. I'm going to pull off this one. Maybe. Sometimes you can even grab your scissors to get it off. Sometimes, though, that can make a mess for you. Let's just see if I can get the backing off with this. There we go. We're going to slowly remove it. And then let's do this one, and then we can put on our piece of paper. And see, I did bounce it. All right. Does not want to come off, does it? There it goes. We'll get it on the other side. Okay, so this one bounced up a little bit, so we're going to take it and do that. Okay. All right, so now we've got all of that done. And we are going to take our cardstock here, and we're going to lay that down just like that. So it's going to cover all of our little shaker pieces. And then there we go. There is our shaker. And you can see all of our little embellishments in there. And again, if it gets the bow, just shake it pretty hard. We're going to get some liquid glue again. And we're going to put, actually, before we do the liquid glue, let's do our ribbon. Because we don't want to not wrap it around. And since we have our pink background on this one, we're going to do pink for our twine. And we're going to wrap it around a couple times. There we go. And then we're going to tie it. And we're actually going to cut, because this twine likes to curl, so we're just going to cut off the end there. And yes, I did stick it to my table, but I can get it up, hopefully. All right, so then let's trim off our tails here. We're going to leave them a little longer. There we go. Okay. There we go. I should have put my silicone mat under it, but I did not. Okay, so we're going to place this down, and we're going to kind of do it in the bottom right corner. And I did that because I wanted that DSP to show off. All right, and then we're going to take our little bow here. We're going to add some glue dots to it. And you'll actually notice I did not do a sentiment on this one. So you can make this into anything. I just felt like adding a sentiment to it, it just would kind of take away from that whole shaker part. And I really just played around with where to put it, and I just wasn't happy with anywhere. So I decided, you know what? We don't need one. And it's okay to not put a sentiment on your card. All right, so then we're going to take our flower and we're going to attach it up here. And then ta-da, there we go. That is our first card for day 5. Okay, so this is our second card for day 5. It is what I am calling a double-decker shaker card. So we have a section up here that has our little gold ones, and then we have the section down here with all the little flower and stars and the little bows that were so cute. So let's dive on into this project. We are going to, I've cut some of the pieces out already. So the first thing we're going to do though is we're going to attach our window sheet to the back of our little designer series paper border. So we're going to grab our liquid glue because that is the easiest way to do it. Maybe if I can get it to cut. There we go. Whew. That was a big old glob right there. I try to do a little thin line around, but that was not so thin. All right. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna place our window sheet right onto it. I'm gonna wipe that off on my pants real quick and get some of that fuzz off. And let's line it up just like that. I'm gonna pick it up and make sure I've got it even within our border there. All right, then I'm gonna set that aside. We are going to do a little technique with an embossed piece. So this is gonna go behind our shaker back here, but you'll notice that's pretty light and this has got some dark in it. So what I did was I embossed the piece, and then I'm gonna take my grid paper. We're gonna take our cloud cover, which is the same as this cardstock, and we are gonna run the ink pad over our embossed area. Now, for some reason, it just doesn't seem to work as well with the cloud cover as it does some of my other ink pads. I don't know what it is that I do with this one. So you want to make sure though that you lightly run it over because you don't want big globs. So you'll start up here and then you're just gonna run down and see, I got it there. I don't know how I do that with just the cloud cover, but apparently I do. We're gonna flip it and we're gonna go down this way, get a little darker. And if you do it, it's okay. It does give it a little bit more character with those streaks in it. So we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna grab my cutter because we're gonna cut it down. And we're gonna cut it down to a little bit smaller than the 4 by 5 1/4, because we want it to fit kind of perfectly behind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna go, make sure I'm in the camera down here. Actually, let's do it up here because then you can see. Okay, so we're gonna go a little less than 4, and it's literally like a smidge less. And then we're gonna go to a little less than 5 1/4, and it's actually already there, so we are good. Okay. Now, let's stamp our sentiment. So this is one of our die cuts that we have from the box. We are gonna take and stamp Love You in Strawberry Slush. And we're gonna put it over here toward our left. Now you can do one of two things. You can leave it long and you can attach your flower and your heart to right there, or you can do what I did, and that's bring in our machine. And then we're going to bring in our die. And this is the same exact die. We're gonna line it up so that here on the back, your little nudges are lined up perfectly. Then what I'm gonna do is take a piece of tape and I'm gonna attach it across like that, and that's gonna hold it in place for me. Then we're gonna run that through, and that is gonna pull down, or it's gonna make our die cutout smaller, and it's gonna make it the size that we need for our sentiment. Let's see if I can get it out. So there we go. All right, let's move this out the way. Sometimes it's good to kind of make it smaller. So this one was kind of too tall. It would have been the perfect size across, but it was just too much there. This one obviously was too long. This one was too short. That one wasn't large enough, and that one was way too big. So that's what you can do in order to kind of get the die cut size that you want. Okay, this should be pretty dry now. Probably not all the way, but we're gonna go with it. We are gonna take our little adhesive strips here, and we're gonna run them along our edges, and we'll use our scissors to cut. Oop. And then right down that way. All right, we're gonna just put that back on. That's really kind of tiny. Let's grab another one. And this one is gonna run right up here, like that. And then this one's gonna go here. All right. Okay. Now, I have taken 2 strips, and we are going to attach them right across our middle of our card. So, and this is going to create our double decker. Now, I do have this smaller section, or the bottom section a little smaller, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do, actually, yeah, we're going to make it a little smaller here, and that's just going to run straight across. And then we're going to cut it as close as we can to those edges, like that, okay? And now we are going to put in our little fun embellishments here. And we're just gonna pour them in. All right, I'm just gonna make sure that these bows are flat. We'll flip that one over. There we go. Oop. All right. I'll put in just a touch more. There we go. Okay, now the next thing, we're gonna take our gold ones and we're gonna pour those up the top. We're gonna probably put in almost the remainder of the bag. There we go. So we'll have just a little bit left to still use. All right, so now we've got those there. So now we're gonna take and peel off all of our backings. Maybe. I wanna try to be careful because I don't want it to jump, because I don't want any of our little pieces to come out. All right, and then we're gonna get that one away from the side there. All right, then you're gonna take your 2 middle ones, and you're gonna pull off those backings like that. Then you can take your embossed piece with the where we did the inking on the top. You just wanna make sure that you look, I got some things out of it. Let's put those back in. There we go. We're just gonna line it up as best we can right over our adhesive. And then when you flip it over, ta-da, you've got your double decker. Now we're gonna put something across the middle. One thing you just wanna check is to make sure that your embossed piece in the back is completely covered up by your border. But I wanted to make sure that this was big enough to cover up all that adhesive. So the top is not showing, but it is a little longer, so I'm just gonna trim it just a touch. And this doesn't have to be straight because nobody's gonna see it. So I'm just kind of making it even with the adhesive there. All right. And then we're gonna take our designer series paper that is like our border. We're gonna put some adhesive on the back. And then we're gonna just take it from edge to edge. I'm gonna kind of do it, make sure I kind of get it in the same level there. All right, there we go. All right, next, let's go ahead and put this on our card base. So let's fold that in half. And then don't forget that when you order this week, and your order, or even just for the whole month of November, you will get the free PDF tutorial of all 12 projects mailed directly to you. So that is a $50 order before tax and shipping and after your rewards are put in that you decide to use. And then if you do order this week, from now until Sunday, you will get a free embellishment from me as well. All right, now we're gonna just attach this to our card front. Just like that. Okay, oops. We're gonna make sure that's even. There we go. All right, now we're gonna take and place our sentiment, and we are gonna pop that up with some dimensionals. We're gonna use our regular dimensionals because they're a little bit thinner. Since we've already got a big, with our strips, they're a little bit taller than our normal dimensionals. So we're just gonna make sure that we don't pop it up too much, because if you want to send it through the mail, you're going to have to make sure you get it protected, but you don't want to have to add a whole lot of extra stamps to it. All right, and then this is just going to go right about here. There we go. Now, again, our day 9, the little inserts and our little cards, they only have one of each other than like the heart and some of the leaves. So we are going to take and use a different flower than we did on the first one. We're going to take a dimensional and we're going to put it right there. We're going to put a little bit of adhesive down there. This is going to sit right about here. Then we're going to put a dimensional on the back of our heart. And this is going to slide in right about there. Then let's take our twine. We are going to take it and fold it in half. And then we're going to cut it. And then we're going to tie a double bow. So we got a double decker card and then a double bow. Get that just a little bit smaller on that end. I probably did cut off way too much, but that's okay. All right, and then we'll grab a glue dot. then we are gonna pick up our little corner right here. We're gonna slide it right on up. And then ta-da, there is our second project for today, for day 5, and it is our double-decker shaker card. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for 2 more projects, and then we will be done with our 12 days of crafting countdown. Here was our other card that we created. Again, it's a little shaker card. I'm really kind of getting into the shaker cards, I guess. And here is our full pile of cards that we have created. I'll stick those there. We can zoom out a little bit and you can see the 2 that we did for today. All right, everyone, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.